Hello and welcome back to Kuwait Motor Town here for the Motor Town Gulf Prix Race 3 coming up in just a moment, and as always you have myself, Aaron Thompson, and Luca Felipe joining you as the commentators.
Hello everybody, from Luca Felipe. So yeah, ready for race 3 after yesterday race 1, which was very technical and really quick race, and then a very fun and hectic, chaotic race 2 with a lot of action.
A lot of action indeed. We saw some fantastic on-track action, and that's a fantastic shot. It's maybe the best track shot I've seen so far as we speak about it. But I believe we're about to go down to Marcello Puglisi in the pit lane for a quick word with all the drivers before the start of the session. Luca, anyone in particular you want to talk to?
For sure, Faisal is from the fourth row, and after the contact from before, and Laura, that she made an impressive improvement.
Yes, indeed.
Here we are back on the grid for the third race of the Formula 4 Saudi Arabia. We are going to talk with the driver just to get some information before the start of this third amazing race. We have seen, like the second race, there was a lot of battle, but now another race with the reverse grid. Try to get some information from Abdullah Al-Kubaisi. Hello Abdullah, how are you?
I'm okay.
So Abdullah is going to run with new tires. Are you going to gamble a little bit, trying to run a different strategy? You will have also a free grid spot position right in front of you. So what's your plan for the race?
I'm planning to make at least maybe 2 positions, or maybe even try and get into the points. So that's my plan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Abdullah, and good luck for the race. And here we are from Philippines. We have Juancho Brobio that at the pole position start from the previous race. Now, unfortunately, with the reverse grid, is starting from the back. Hello, Juancho. Great improvement for last week. You're getting better and better. So what are your hopes for this race?
Well, I guess I just want, I will do my best to overtake and match the pace of the cars in front of me.
Thank you very much, Juancho. Good luck for the race. Let's going on with the grid. We are going with the green car from Abdulaziz Abu Zenada that unfortunately got a penalty for this race. He will start from the pit lane. So you're trying to gamble too with new tires. Unfortunately, you're going to start with from the pit lane. But, I mean, you still have a chance to score some good points. You've shown a great improvement through the weekend.
Hopefully I'm waiting for a safety car in this race to maybe make up the time that I lost during the start. The penalty for the one with the Zamfari I don't agree with, but that's racing. Things happen, and we just have to accept it and move on. Hopefully we're a good race today.
Okay, thank you, Abdulaziz, and good luck. Give it all. And we are going on. Just some quick words from Qatar. We have Jabbar that wasn't here last week, and he has shown quite a good pace during the last race, Jabbar. So you're starting too with the new tires. And what are your hopes for this race? I mean, in the first race this morning, you were going pretty well, and you had some nice fight on track. What about this race?
Hopefully I'll keep the same pace, and I'll wait till someone makes a mistake and overtake, hopefully. That will happen.
Okay, thank you very much, Jabbar, and good luck for your race. Let's go on with one of the quickest driver in this championship. He got a really good win on the first race. So, Suleiman, as you had a really good qualifying lap, you're starting with the reverse grid from the back. I see you're running really bad tire. So what about this race with this tire? What do you hope for?
Get a good start, make the maximum, be as sharp as possible, and bring the car home.
Okay, Suleiman, good luck for the race. Let's going on. Now we have Kutskov Kirill that had unfortunately crashed during the previous race. He's going to start on the back of the grid, still because of the reverse grid. So, Kirill, what are your expectations for this race?
Just send it and whatever it's gonna be.
Okay. Good luck, Kirill, for your race. So, another really good driver in the championship in the front, but now it's time to race. I give you back the word. Thank you very much.
Just about to get underway here for the third race of the weekend. Almost the end of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us for just one more race at the end of today, another few hours time. But before then, we have to get out of the pit lane, and that's going to happen in exactly 2 minutes time. 11:52, the scheduled open. The scheduling of the opening of the pit lane will have a quick sighting. All cars will stop on the grid. You'll see the green lights go on, and we'll go around the track one more time for the formation lap. And at the culmination of the formation lap, all cars will stop in their grid boxes. All 5 lights will go on, and as they extinguish, we will be underway for one more time here at the Kuwait Motor Town. We heard Marcello Puglisi down on the grid with Sullivan Zanfari there, Luca, and he made a quick comment about tires. It looks like Sullivan may be on a very heavily used set for this race. Is that strategy? Is he saving something good for the last race here at Kuwait?
Yeah, for sure. We have him and Federico Arifai and Kirill Kuskov and probably also Petrovic, that they are saving a very good set of tires for the final race. So all top 4 drivers, they are gonna have a very good set of tires for the 4th race, which is giving the full points. And they know that they don't have the best grip available for today, race 3. But because we have seen a lot of action, it's still possible to score points and maybe benefit for other people's mistake and potential safety car. Who knows? Race 2 that we've seen earlier this morning was really an interesting one, and sometimes reverse grid can deliver that sort of unpredictable racing.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, we've seen a lot of unpredictable racing so far. My particular favorite, all of the undertakes at turn 6, the sweeping left-hander after the carousel, which just seemed to have opened up a lot of opportunities on track that perhaps people weren't quite expecting. Is there anywhere else on track like that, Luca, where we could start to see some surprising overtakes here in this reverse grid race with perhaps a more heavily used set of tires on a lot of the drivers' cars?
Yeah, so on the contrary, we have Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Durayan that they are starting on a fresher set, because of their starting position that they are in starting in this race. So they have a real chance to get on the podium. But don't forget people like Wurz that yesterday has been incredibly fast, and he was unlucky with the accident earlier this morning with Kirill. But
well, let's have another brief look at the track now. And perhaps you can point out for us the best place to overtake, and you can't say turn 20 again, Luca.
Yeah, so turn 1, definitely you can overtake on the outside. And turn 2, same thing, we have seen people overtaking the outside. Inside turn 6, we have seen Zanfari doing that a lot. Inside turn 7, we have seen Amda on Zanfari. But then between 12 to 16 you cannot overtake. In 18 and 19 as well. And then turn 20. Definitely you can. So but what we can see more action now with uneven situation in the tires, so maybe also staying close in the fast corners will get you better exit speed for the next one.
Well, let's run through the starting grid then to see where all the action may be. We have Laura Villas, of course, starting on pole position in the blue number 55 car, driving for Sweden. Alongside her, Faisal Al-Kabani, the silver bullet in the silver number 7 car, driving for Saudi Arabia. Second row, Sagar Al-Mashirji and Omar Al-Durrani, that's Kuwait versus Saudi Arabia. Number 5 versus number 18. Third row of the grid, we have Federico Al-Rafai and Oscar Woods. Federico and Al-Rafai. Federico and Woods having a fantastic battle back in Bahrain. Oscar Woods, not the best race in the last race. Unfortunately, had a collision with Kirill Kutskov, but he's back up there in P6 now, ready to show us what he's made of. Hamda Al-Kabasi and Andrei Petrovic are 7th and 8th ahead of Kirill Kutskov and Suleiman Zanfari, who round out the top 10. Jabir Al-Thani and Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, cars number 96 and 99, start on the second last row of the grid and are joined by John Brobio and Abdullah Al-Kabasi. I can see the cars coming around the final corner now, Luke. I believe we're going to stop in our grid boxes, and in a few moments we'll see the green lights established, which will indicate the start of the formation lap. For somebody like Suleiman, who might be on a more heavily used set of tires, is there anything he needs to do differently in his warm-up procedure now, Luke?
Yeah, and so the more the tire is used, actually the easier is to warm up. There is also a technical reason. Maybe if I'm getting too technical, you tell me. So the higher is the tread, it means the more rubber layer you have on the tire. So it takes more time to heat it up. If this thread gets thinner, so you have not so much thread, then it means the layer is definitely thinner, so you don't have enough, you don't have as much rubber, so it takes less energy to warm up. So this is the difference. Sometimes can be a little bit of an advantage in, for example, the first lap, the used tire, because it takes less energy to warm it up, so it will be ready for Zanfari, so he can try and get the maximum potential from turn 1, 1A, 1B, and 2 in order to get as many positions as he can. On the contrary, in the last few laps, it might be a little bit overheating the tire. So that could be the issue for him later on in the race.
We saw as well he did quite a few laps in qualifying, so really this set's probably coming to the end of its life. Do you know if he's going onto a new set in race 4, or is he going back onto another used?
So we're talking about Zanfari?
Zanfari, yeah.
Yeah, so Zanfari will have the set from qualifying, so it will be a set with only a couple of laps turned on, a couple of push laps, maybe 5-6 in total, so it will be a very fresh set. And same thing will be for Oscar Wurz and for Federico Rifai, and as well for Petrovic. So, and Kirill Kutskov too. So five fast guys will have fresh tires for the final race. So in that case, they have to make sure that the little sacrifice they're gonna do now and the extra work they will have to do in this race with a used set, at least they have to take the most out of the new one in the final race of the day.
Yes, of course, and we can see them now coming around turns 12, 13, 14 and 15, the right-handed section of the track. In just a moment they'll be down the back straight, and then we'll be coming to rest in our grid boxes one more time here at Kuwait Motor Town for race 3 of the season, of the event, I should say, because of course this is a double header, which would make this race 7 of the season so far, and we're going to have to update you on championship standings just after this. But it's going to be a tough weekend, I believe, for Suleiman Zanfari after the last race.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a physical event for everybody because this circuit is really demanding. So after a couple of weeks being here, we have seen drivers that are getting faster and faster, but also is physically and mentally really demanding. And the improvement we have seen from everybody is amazing. For example, Laura Villers, that is starting on pole now, she has improved massively also just in the previous race. Her racecraft was within a second compared to the fastest drivers of the series. So really, really impressive improvement from her.
Yeah, she was really kicking ass in the last race, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was enjoying it as well, I guess.
She was, yes. And Omar Alduran did a fantastic race as well. He was hanging in there. And did you see the move Hamda made on the Orange 52, Sullivan Zanfari? We saw him overtake her at turn 6, and she just didn't let him have it. Turn 7, all of a sudden, she was right back in there, taking it back from him. It was fantastic driving.
This is what we want to see from Hamda. We want her to be aggressive and to show her potential. She has been probably the fastest in the previous race, so I think she has the potential to overtake guys again and enjoy this race.
Well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, all the cars have now joined us on the starting grid, and in just a moment we'll be underway. As you can see, the first light about to go on, light 2, 3, 4, 5, and as they go out, we are underway. The silver bullet, number 7, the silver bullet of Faisal Al-Kabani getting a fantastic start, jumping into first position. Sagar Al-Masharj up the inside, Omar Alduran around the outside, down into turn 1, and that is a fantastic start there for Saudi Arabia, with 2 cars into the top 3, while there is some contact between Laura Villas in the blue, number 55, and a white car which may have been Federico Al-Rafai or Oscar Wirtz. Unfortunately, the white car managing to continue, but it looks like Laura Villas may have been beached there on the exit of turn 1A. Coming down into turn 2 now, though, we can see Amda Al-Kabasi in the purple number 8 car making a move on Solomon Zanfari, but Solomon trying to switch back on the exit of the corner. Back to the front of the grid, we have the silver bullet, Faisal Al-Kabani, swerving through turns 3, 4 and 5, trying to keep ahead of Sagar Al-Masharj, who looks like he's making a move up the inside of turn 6 and may be able to close the deal through turn 7. I can't quite see whether that's a silver or a light blue car at the front of the grid at the moment, but in any second we will have the outcome of that fight, and it does seem like Kuwait has come out on top and is leading the race here, race 3 of the weekend, with Sagar Al-Masharji. Fantastic drive there from these 2 young gentlemen, and it seems like the silver number 7, the silver bullet, hasn't quite given up and is going to start challenging Kuwait for the lead of the race very soon indeed, as Hamza Al-Kabasi follows very closely behind Solomon Zanfari through the right-hand section of the track.
Fantastic
bump
move
there from Korean
Sakir.
Safety car out. Must be for Laura Villas, must be trapped still at turn 1.
Yeah, so unfortunately Laura Villas, she was stuck at the apex of turn, what we call 1B, which is basically the kink before the long straight, so definitely not the best place to be standing still, so they have to recover the car. Such a shame for her. She didn't have quite a good start, and they arrived 3 wide. Here we see her. They were 3 wide at the apex of turn 1A, and I think she had just nowhere to go, and
well, let's
she had
have a
contact
quick
with
look
Federico.
and see exactly what happened. Here we are, start of the race. You can see Laura in the blue, number 55, someone going around the inside, someone going around the outside, and just behind her she gets into contact with the white car of, I believe that is number 11. Yes, indeed it is. That's Oscar Wirtz. Contact with Laura Villas there on the exit of turn 1B. Laura getting beached backwards into the just above the curb there on the exit of 1B.
Wow, so Oscar Wirtz is in the pits, which is not a good news for Oscar. Definitely, so far, this place hasn't been very nice to him, I would say. Potentially he has like a wing damage or a flat tire. Let's see if he's able to rejoin, and yeah, it just went out. So at least he didn't lose a lap, which is really important. So he has an opportunity to come through the field and
there he is, joining
try and
us on
rejoin,
track
yeah.
at the moment.
All right.
So as you said, Luke, it must have been just a little bit of wing damage or maybe a puncture or something of that effect. As you said, it's not been a fantastic weekend for him, but I mean, he's had the car under him, he's had the pace, but it's just a lot of these little bad luck, little incidents touching into somebody here and there. That's really taken away a lot of his momentum that he built up in Bahrain.
Yeah, so it's been a bit unfortunate, this accident. It was like squeezed in the middle in between Andrei Petrovic and Laura Villers, and you know, where you are in the middle, sometimes there is not much you can do. Uh, Maybe when he was going to try the inside of Laura Villers, he should have maybe closed the door a bit more for Andrei not to take advantage, because Andrei, we've seen him racing, is really smart, and he's always basically at the right time, at the right moment. Also in this position, he placed himself on the inside, which gave him the opportunity to get a couple of places, and also to put your rival in trouble, which is also sometimes one of those things you want to do.
Well, let's go back to the race stop one more time. 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and as they go out, we're underway. You can see Laura not getting the best start, but the silver bullet, the car on the right-hand side of the screen, getting away very well indeed. And the yellow number 18 of Omar Aldarani going around the outside as the light blue number 5 goes around the inside of Laura Villas. And here's that contact again between Wirtz and Villas on the exit of turn 1B. You can see Andrei Petrovic, as Luca mentioned, taking advantage of the collision and moving up position as well. As we come down now the second straight into turn 2, you can see the yellow car of Omar Aldarani following closely behind his comrade in arms, and of course the Kuwaiti driver Sagar Al-Mashers as he comes through turn 2, and after Al-Kabesi makes a move up the inside of Solomon Zanfari, who immediately cuts back onto track and takes as much of an advantage as he can over the crest and down into the carousels, turns 3, 4, and 5. You can see this is where Sagar in the light blue number 5 car makes an inside move around turn 6 and closes the door into turn 7 to secure first position for Kuwait in this, the third race of the weekend, as the procession follows him through turns 6, 7, and into the flat-out snaking section of 8, 9, 10, and 11 before the right-hand section, turn 12, 13, 14, and 15. You can see on screen now the continuing replay of this moving on, but back to the live, and we can see everybody still lining up behind the safety car. Had a message from race control mentioning that there would be an investigation in regards to the contact between Oscar Wirtz and Laura Villas at turn 1B. With any luck, that car will be recovered this lap and we can go racing again very soon indeed. Luckily, however, we have a regulation to handle these exact scenarios where under safety car we can give back up to 3 laps to ensure that we get as much track time as possible, and track time is what these young drivers are here for, to learn how to be the next Michael Schumacher or the next Ayrton Senna, or if you're not 100 years old, the next Lewis Hamilton. So Luca, Philippe, what do they have to do after this if that's their goal?
So I remember well Schumacher and Senna, and I'm not 100 years old, so I don't know where you're heading to. So I love this rule about adding laps. I really love it. It's something that I don't think in Formula 4 we haven't seen yet in other championship. I'm sure somebody is going to copy this idea, because it's a really smart idea, because at the end of the day we want these drivers to learn and to gain as much experience as they can. And by starting all of them with equal amount of fuel in the race, we know exactly how many laps they can do under green, how many under safety car. So adding 3 laps is up to 3 laps. It's really something that is making the race as long as possible.
Well, 3 laps and now 3 restarts of the race. Let's have a look here from the drone angle, what we can see, what happens. Let's have a look at the right-hand side of your screen. You can see Laura doesn't get away quite quick enough, but Sagar Al-Mashers does indeed. He was the light blue dot that danced into the left-hand side of the screen and moves up into second position at the first corner. You can see here now, this is going to be where the contact happens between Laura and Wirtz. There we are, bit of an incident there indeed, but Wirtz manages to plow through the gravel and continue back onto track.
So, this corner is unfortunately the picture of the weekend, with Andrei being at the right time, the right place, and Oscar, unfortunately, the opposite, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Oscar is a super talented, super humble, super good. He's a hard worker guy, and he's also really fast. Like yesterday, race 1, he finished in a strong second place, and it was the best way to open the weekend after in the trophy event, I would say he was probably the fastest guy on
He
track.
won 2 of the 4 races in the trophy event.
Yeah,
Fantastic
and
weekend for him.
yeah, and you know, sometimes it's just like this. It doesn't click as you want, and then you are starting on the back foot, and then it seems like nothing is going your way, and but
get
still, you know,
frustrated.
we have 8 laps to go. He's in the race, and I really want him to fight back and see, and let's see what he can do.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen before, and on track now you can see Omar Alderain in the yellow number 18 car. This is probably good news for him. He's in P3. He's set up for a nice look at the podium, on the podium in the last race, and he's really got an opportunity here with the 2 Saudi drivers of Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Alderain. This is P2 and P3, car 7 and car 18. May well have an opportunity here to lock out the second half of the podium.
I think that the fight for the podium is gonna be tough because Saker has made a really nice move on Faisal, and Faisal has very good tires also. But Omar, you know, he's a tough guy and he's a fighter, so he's on fire and he's happy with a potential podium position. But I don't know if it is exactly what he wants. I think he wants a win, so he will try to go for it.
He will indeed, and he's going to get his opportunity this lap, as message from race control is safety car in. In just a moment, you'll see the safety car start to speed up, and then at turn 16, it'll extinguish its lights and leave the pack under the control of Sagar Al-Mashaj. Sagar Al-Mashaj in the light blue number 5 car driving for Kuwait is going to have his first safety car restart, I believe, in this race. This is his first opportunity to back up the pack and decide when we start go racing. And of course, nobody allowed to overtake until all the cars are past the start-finish line. Luca, when does Sagar put the throttle down?
So you have 2 options basically. So from now on, we'll have the fast section, then we have the long right-hander, which is a multiple apex hander, and after that, the safety car will turn the light off. So that means from then, the leader has the opportunity to make the pace, so you don't have to stay anymore within the 5 length of the car to the safety car. And the safety car will speed up, Sagar will back up a little bit, and then you have 2 choices. Or you just, now we see the safety car with the lights off. 3 laps added, and now Saker is slowing down. He can or put the full gas exiting this corner, or he will be doing it only after the last corner. So let's see what he does. We have seen 2 different approaches, but I'm quite sure that he will wait a little longer, and then more or less when he feels is everybody quite close, he will just go flat out and then restart. He's taking a bit of a longer approach, like we have seen also this morning when Faisal was in the lead. He did more of a similar.
Seems to have put down the throttle now, though, and here we come down the back straight into turn 20. Is anybody close enough to make a move? Lots of people having a look, but Sagar seems to have had an excellent restart and is powering down the main straight now ahead of the Silver Bullet and the yellow car of Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani, the yellow number 18, going to try and make a move into turn 1. Is he close enough? Not quite close enough, as Andrei Petrovic and the number 10 of Federico Al-Rafai go to war here at turn 1A and 1B. Andre sliding up the inside at 1B. 1A tries to make a move, can't hold on to it, and the white car, Federico Al-Rafai, manages to stay out in front, as I believe Kirill Kutskov tries to take advantage of all of this action and seems to be going around the outside now here at turn 2. Are we going to be 3 wide coming into turn 2? Definitely 2 wide, as Andrei Petrovic tries to make another move on Federico Al-Rafai. Kirill Kutskov really taking this into his own and is going to have to make a move now coming down into the carousel. Turns 3, 4 and 5, because Solomon Zanfari in the orange number 52 car is just behind him. Solomon looking at making a move up the inside of turn 6 on the Kyrgyzstan driver, but can't quite manage to make it as they come around the sweeping left-hander of turn 6, back onto the sweeping right-hander of turn 7, and down into the sneaky, the straight out snake here, the flat section of the circuit. Turns 8, 9, 10, and 11 before they switch into the right-handed section of the track. Sagar Almashaj out in front, lengthening his lead as Andrei Petrovic in the red number 49 car driving for Serbia tries to get his way up into 4th position. This, of course, advantaging Saudi Arabia here with Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani managing to follow closely behind their Kuwaiti comrade Sagar Al-Mashaj and pull away from this pack that is fighting for 4th position at the moment.
So in the moment we also have in 8 Amda Al-Kubezi, and Amda, she has been really fast in the middle of the race, but now she is trying to overtake Suleiman Zamfari. I've seen she was really close and she is faster at the moment, so he has to try and get that position as soon as possible.
Look how close she is behind him. She seems to have carried more speed coming out of turn 20 as well. She's already on the right hand side of the track. Looks like she's going to go around the outside at turn 2, but maybe not quite close enough to pull it off this time around. There's a real rivalry developing here between the orange number 52 and the purple number 8. That's between Morocco and UAE. Solomon Zanfari and Al-Kabasi as we come down the second straight now here into turn 2. Are they going to be close enough to make a move? Just focus here on the middle of the pack, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll see Hamda Al-Kabasi having a quick look down the inside, deciding against us a little bit too far back as she comes down through turn 2 now, up over the crest of the hill, down into turns 3, 4 and 5, the carousel. We can see the cars all sliding down on the exit there as Andrei Petrovic now fighting off Kirill Kutkov in the light blue number 23 car driver for Kyrgyzstan, just behind the Serbian driver. You can see that Kirill is as close as you possibly can be through that section of the track, but not quite close enough to make a move as they switch back into the straight out, flat out section of the track. Turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. A little bit of a breather here for the drivers as they prepare for the right-handed section of the track. Turns 12, 13, 14 and 15. Next overtaking opportunity, perhaps turns 17 or 19 or even turn 20 as we come into the final sector of the track. Let's have a quick look at lap times. Sagar Al-Masharji doing a 2:03.632 in that last lap. His setting personal best sector 2 of this lap, as well as Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani takes it on the inside here, taking it away from the silver bullet Faisal Al-Kabani down into turn 17, I believe that was, and they switch back into turn, that must have been turn 18 as they switch back into turn 19, and the yellow number 18 closes the door on his Saudi Arabian comrade as they come down now the back straight into turn 20. Is there going to be an opportunity for the silver bullet to take his position back? No, he's not quite close enough, but will Hamda Al-Kabasi have something to say to Morocco at the same corner? Again, she doesn't seem to be quite close enough. Perhaps she'll tuck in behind the orange car and get into the slipstream and make a move down into turn 1. That may be what the silver bullet Faisal Al-Kabani is thinking, but he's just a little bit too far back, so Petrovic Andrei may be able to make something happen for us on screen, ladies and gentlemen, through turns 1, 1A and 1B, but everybody deciding to hunker down in their positions and keep a hold of the racing action until there is an adequate opportunity to take an overtaking maneuver here.
So this has been a fantastic maneuver from Omar Al-Darayan on the inside in turn 18. Is normally a place that where we don't see many overtaking, but he just took advantage of a very slight mistake from Faisal, and he was able to go up in second position. In the meantime, Saker is going very fast now. He's at the fastest lap of the race. We can see at the end of this lap how is the pace of Omar compared to Saker, if he's able to close the gap, or if the leader is now, with his head down and pushing as hard as possible.
Well, with the clear air, Sagar certainly has an advantage, but Kirill Kutkov, ladies and gentlemen, just set the fastest first sector, 34.021, almost more than 1/10 of a second faster than the man in first place, so he is starting his charge, but unfortunately there's a lot of cars between him and the top step of the podium.
Yeah, Kirill was really close to Andrei, trying to find a gap to try and overtake, but Andrei, we have seen that he's really good at defending as well, and Kirill he's been super quick this weekend, and he has to make sure he maximizes the points, and he will be in a good position also starting the final race of the day.
Talking about lap times again, just quickly, Luca, I can see a 34.165 and a 44.072 green sector times for Omar Al-Tarain, and they're almost exactly the same time as the man in front of him, and he goes faster by 0.4 of a second in the third sector. So Omar Al-Tarain chasing down Sagar Al-Mashaj. That's Saudi Arabia versus Kuwait here in the third race of this weekend, as we come down now the main straight and into turns 1A and 1B.
So yeah, this is what I was curious to see, the pace of Omar, and he is now the quickest car on track, and this is the first lap that he was able to be by himself with nobody in front, and is pulling a really good lap together. Let's see if he also has the consistency to try and chase the lead. There is like almost 3 seconds between himself and Saker. Of course, because when you fight with a contender, he was fighting with Faisal, he lost a little bit of time, but who knows, the race is still long.
6 laps left to go. He's going to have to pull out 0.5 of a second every lap. At the moment, though, in sector 1, it's a 34.059 and a 34.088. That 34.059 for Sagar and the 0.88 for Omar Al-Tarain. So they're matching each other very closely indeed, but Omar has to find 0.5 of a second every lap if he wants to catch up to the man in front of him by the end of this race.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, but we also have to take in we have to think about that, taking account that the tires may be falling over a little bit in the last couple of laps. So if you are also nice on tires during the race, maybe the last couple of laps you may have an opportunity.
Who do you imagine has fresher tires on at this point in time, Omar or Sagar?
I think Omar is improving lap by lap, so it gives me the impression that he's looking really good at the moment. So for sure he's able to match the pace, if not to gain a little bit. It's not easy, more than 2 seconds, but he will try.
And it looks like Sagar actually had a bit of an answer for the Saudi Arabian driver that lap and pulled out another 1/10 of a second away from the second place driver, as we can see on track now. Andrei Petrovic and Federico Al-Rafai battling for 4th position.
Yeah, the first two, they are the only two guys able to stay within 2.3 seconds, and so it means they are really pushing hard, and they are the only two that they can think on themselves, while this group, they have to attack and defend one to the other, and so the lap times, they go up a little bit. They get a little slower when you have to fight for your position.
Yes, of course, but the silver bullet, the number 7 car of Faisal Al-Kubani, driving for Saudi Arabia, doing fantastically as well here, it should be said, holding on to his 3rd position here for 5 or 6 laps already, and that's really quite impressive, considering that Federico Al-Rafai, a race winner here in Formula 4 Arabia, and Andrei Petrovic, perhaps Rotax world champion, and just behind him CIK world champion Kirill Kutskov, are all right behind the Saudi driver of the number 7 car.
Yeah, I mean, this group is very close, and we have to see anything can happen with 5 laps to go. The important thing is not to make any mistake. Faisal lost a potential podium in the previous race with 1.5 lap to go. So, it's not finished until the checkered flag. You have to keep your head down and make sure you don't make any mistakes. And let's see if Faisal can learn from the previous race. I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will. And at the front of the grid, there's a battle in lap times going on between Sagar Al-Mashars. It's a green sector 1 for Sagar, and then a green sector 2 for Omar, and it's back and forth, and Omar not managing to pull a chunk of time out of the leaders' gap between them. But also, similarly, Sagar not managing to sail away at the front of the grid. And we can see on track Amda Al-Kabaisi and Suleiman Zanfari are still fighting for position, and this may give some advantage here to Oscar Wirtz, who's going to try up the inside again at turn 1 on an orange car this time around. Is he close enough to make a move? Not quite, but he's positioned himself very nicely indeed to get an excellent exit, slipstream down the second straight, and perhaps make a move coming into turn 2. That may well put a smile on the Austrian's face yet this weekend, and I believe that's himself making that move up the inside at turn 2 as we just predicted, and a very nice move it was indeed, and that's going to take some pressure off of Amda Al-Kabaisi, because now the white and orange cars are fighting, and she may be able to pull away and start to catch up to Kirill Kutskov and join that battle for third position.
So Zanfari is struggling a little bit with his tires, so Wurz is faster in this phase of the race, but Zanfari is also the leader of the championship, so maybe he doesn't want to take risk, and so maybe as it is, he's down to P9. For sure, not what he wanted, but this is what he has to deal with, because at the moment we have at least 9 drivers that are able to fight for podium positions, and the level of these guys is going up and up race by race. They are improving literally from one day to the other.
Yes, indeed, and even from lap to lap, you can see here now, Omar Alderani just set the fastest first sector with the 33.941, almost a tenth of a second faster than the man in front of him. The gap between the two drivers quite consistent, a 2.7 or a 2.9, depending on what phase of the lap that you are looking at. As we come around now the penultimate corner of the lap, we can see everybody joining us down onto the main straight. Is there going to be any chance for an overtaking opportunity here between the cars battling for third position? Faisal Al-Kabani, Federico Al-Rafai, Andrei Petrovic and Kirill Kutskov? No, not quite. And you could see indeed that Faisal Al-Kabani seems to have pulled out a little bit of a lead between himself and the cars behind him of Federico Al-Rafai and Andrei Petrovic. Of course, Federico having to worry primarily about defending from the Rotex World Champion just behind him, and Kirill Kutskov, I'm sure, having to have a look as well to see if he can take advantage of what's going on here in front of him. And you can see Andre had 2 looks there and decided again that he's just not quite close enough here at turn 2 to make that move up over the crest and down into 3, 4 and 5 the carousel before we hit into the left-handing sweeping turn 6 here, and then back across onto the right-handed sweeping turn 7, and then into the flat-out section of the track, turns 9, 10 and 11.
So yeah, between these 4 drivers we have a bit of an elastic effect, so they were more compacted. Now it looks like Faisal was able to pull a little gap, like as we see now, but there is no time to take a breath, because still with 3 laps to go, 2.5, you cannot really make a mistake. It's a really fast circuit, so a little mistake you pay a high price for it. And
yes, indeed,
also
and we can see that as well here, because car number 52 is just got a multiple track limits warning, so he's going to have to pay attention to that, because he doesn't want to slip out of the points with any kind of penalty. That, of course, being the orange number 52 of Suleiman Zanfari. As we said, he does seem to be on older tires, and he may be struggling here with that set coming to the end of its life, but with 3 laps left to go in this race, he may still be able to hold onto it. We can see the Silver Bullet, the number 7 car, pulling out his lead from P2 to P3, and Andrei Petrovic again just having a little bit of a look and then deciding against it. Federico Al-Rafai positioning himself perfectly to maintain his 4th position, but not able to catch up to the Silver Bullet in front of him, while concentrating on keeping that red number 49 of Andrei Petrovic behind him. Oscar Wirtz, though, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be fuming in that car. He made a mistake here at the beginning of this race, but he's fought his way back up into 9th position, and now he's got Hamda Al-Kabaisi just ahead of him. You could see on screen just a moment ago the purple and white cars, the purple number 8 of course Hamda Al-Kabaisi, and the white number 11 of course Oscar Wertz driving for Austria. You can see on screen now the two drivers in question as Oscar Wertz makes a move up the inside here at turn 2 on the purple number 8 of the UAE driver Hamda Al-Kabasi, and a very nice move it was indeed. He closes the door just as they crest over the hill before they move down into turns 3, 4 and 5. Hamda Al-Kabasi going to try to come back up close, but it does seem as if Oscar Wertz has the momentum, at least in this phase of the race, Luca.
A brilliant move from Oscar. Very late but very clean. So he just went for it at the very last minute, and but he was able to go fully alongside, so he didn't give any opportunity to Hamda to fight back. So it was a really nice and clean move, and it's good that even if there was the unfortunate accident at the first lap, he was able to keep his head down, Oscar, and he's doing a very good race. For sure he has the same pace, if not better, compared to the group that we see here, but unfortunately, coming from behind, now he's too far to catch this group.
Well, his best lap time is a 2:03.844, so that may well be that he's one of only 3 people on track with a 2:03 to his name at the moment, so he's definitely one of the fastest cars on the track, but unfortunately it just isn't reflected in his race position at the moment. As we come down the main straight now, we can see the Silver Bullet, the number 7 car of Faisal Al-Kabani, still maintaining his second position, but it does seem like Federico Al-Rifai may be catching up in the background there. Of course, Andrej Petrovic, the deciding factor in this fight, because he's going to be all over the back of the Federico Al-Rifai number 10 car. As we can see off track now, number 99 I should say, Abdul Aziz Abu Zanada seems to be beached on the exit of turns 12 and 13. That may well bring out a safety car, because that is a very, very fast section of the track, and it may not be possible to allow the drivers to remain there. But with 1 lap left to go on the boards, I'm not sure exactly what will happen, as Faisal Al-Kabani makes a small mistake coming down the carousel, and Federico Al-Rifai pounces on the Saudi Arabian driver, trying to make the move stick up the inside of turn 6. Doesn't quite have the momentum to get past him. Can he come back into turn 7? It seems like the Silver Bullet manages to hold off the white car, the white number 10 of Federico Al-Rifai, as they come through the flat out section of the track now. Turns 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Can the Silver Bullet keep the driver in the UAE car just behind him? He seems like around the outside, and are we going to be under yellow flag? Is the racing going to have to be called out? And it seems like Federico Al-Rifai manages to get past the Silver Bullet just coming into turn 16 and 17, and with any luck that may have been before the yellow flags came out. There must have been yellow flags on track at that section because of the green car, the number 99 car of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada. As we can see on track now though, Sagar Al-Masharj in the light blue number 5 car coming home for Kuwait in first position. A fantastic race there for Sagar. Just behind him we have Omar Al-Walid Al-Darani in the yellow number 18 car. Fantastic race for him, as well as we come across the start-finish straight in first and second position. 3 wide now here, ladies and gentlemen, fighting down to the wire, but it is Faisal Al-Kabani in third position, I believe, as we come across the start-finish line.
Federico Al-Rifai, we have seen briefly that he went with his light on, which is the rain light, so he wanted to give Faisal the position back. So while he got the position, he probably, with his side vision, he realized there was yellow flag displayed, so he intentionally gave the position back, as he knew otherwise he was going to be penalized 100%. So he's a quite experienced driver, so he gave the position back, and so he should be fine like this, with Faisal able to retain his podium position. Good job, Faisal, you got the podium this weekend. And Federico in fourth, but that gave a launch into the last corner with Petrovic and Kirill, that were trying also to benefit from Federico slowing down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, at the end it looks like even if it were for like a 200 of a second, Kutskov wasn't able to overtake Petrovic on the line.
No, indeed he wasn't, but it was a fantastic, fantastic race. And I believe that's my cue to head down to the podium, Lucas. So I'll see you again very shortly.
Yes, so we will see shortly the podium of the top 3 and also the top 3 rookies with the home hero, Sakir Al-Mosherji from Kuwait, winning a race, at least one race this weekend. So it's definitely important to him to win a race at home, and he's done it in style, in winning and pushing through the race the whole time. Only Omar Al-Darayan was able to keep his pace. They were the fastest guys today, and great podium for Omar again. While we have seen the fight for the third place, that at the end it was for P3 for Faisal Al-Kabani, just managed to get his position back from Federico Rifai. So definitely potentially there will be a review, because when you're taking the yellow flag you shouldn't do it, but he understood the situation, and he gave the position back as soon as possible. So here we have Omar Al-Darayan congratulating Sakir Al-Mosherji. It's good to see these guys, very young guys with little experience, but already fast and able to fight with the Formula 4 experienced guys. We have seen some incredible racing. Really happy Sakir Al-Mosherji, and he's been very consistent here in Kuwait, but he hasn't won a race yet, but finally he did. So I'm sure that this will be a very sweet podium for himself and his family. So it was quite a clean race, just the spin from Abdulaziz Abuzenada through the end of the race, and he, unfortunately for him, ended his race in the gravel. While for the rest, we had contact in turn 1A in between Oscar Wurz, who had to go through the gravel, and Andrei Petrovic and Laura Villars, who unfortunately for her, she was on the outside, so nothing she could have done. She just ended up in the gravel, and the race was over for her. Such a shame, as she has shown a great improvement in the previous race. She was she even made a lap into the 204s, which is really competitive. So it is good that she was able to improve herself as driving so much through the weekend. This means that when you give all the drivers equal opportunities with equal cars, same setups, same amount of fuel, same amount of tires and testing, and we give them the opportunity to see each other's data, videos. So when you give them the tools and the people to help them to improve themselves, then they can deliver these results. And of course, at the end, the final couple of tenths is down to the talent, is down to having the speed in your blood, but it means that the good drivers, they can improve and they can learn quickly when they have the right tools, the right mechanical package behind them, and the right people. So this is definitely rewarding to us. So let's hear what the top three guys they have to say in a moment. Definitely we're very interested to see what they had to say, and we have an all Middle East podium, which is also, this is really interesting because we have a very, very international field. So for today's race we have Kuwait, Saudi Arabia on the podium, and then we have UAE, we have Serbia, we have many different countries. We have Austria, we have Morocco, and here we have the final classification. Saker Al-Mosherji, winner of today. Omar Al-Derayan in second. Faisal Al-Kabani managing to get on the podium like he said to us he was going to. And Federico Rifai in P4. Petrovic Andrei in fifth. Kirill Kuskov trying to overtake Petrovic on the line. Didn't quite do it, but it is P6 for him. Oscar Wurz after a very unlucky first lap of the race, but he displayed a lot of speed. Amdal Kubezi in 8th. Suleiman Zanfari, the leader of the championship, in 9th position. Abdullah Kubezi in position 10. Then Juan Shobrobrio from Filippine in 11. Jabor Altani in 12. So unfortunately Laura Villers and Abdulaziz Abduzanada, they didn't finish the race. Abdulaziz he went out in the final lap. So this is the third race of the weekend. We have seen qualifying yesterday morning, and the race 4 will be based on the fourth lap of the qualifying in the running order. So we will have again a race that is directly dependent on the pure speed and the pure performance of the drivers. Some of them, they have said they have saved a fresh set, a new set of tires. Some of them they have not, and this is why also today we have seen a lot of action, because we had a different tire wear between the drivers. Here we have after the start of the race the 3 wide in between Wurz, Laura Villers and Andrei Petrovic on the inside. Bad luck for Laura, also for Wurz. They had to pack in the back of the field. After the restart, Faisal was at the front, but Omar was in second, but Omar was able to gain his position, and Omar was in P2. And here we have the fight between Wurz, that got first Zanfari and then Amdal Kubezi with an amazing move on the inside. And here we see the last mistake from Abdulaziz, and the attempt from Federico Rifai with a yellow flag, and then he gave the position back to Faisal, that finally got on the podium. So let's see what the director has to say, but for sure Federico Rifai, when he have seen the yellow flag, then he gave the position back. Everything will be in review from the race control, just in case there is anything that wasn't done correctly. And we also see they are recovering the green car for Abdulaziz right now at the moment at the exit of turn 12-13. Here we have the restart of the race. Very good start from Faisal Al-Kabani in number 7, and Saker Al-Mosherji on the inside, and Omar Al-Derayan on the outside, and those 3 were the 3 podium finishers. So the start were definitely important to all 3. This is the unlucky Laura Villers spinning around, and Wurz at the back of the field. And Saker Al-Mosherji working hard his way to the lead, and then able to overtake Faisal during the first lap. Here we have also Zanfari overtaking Amdal Kubezi. And here we have a little mistake for Faisal, and Saker is able to go on the inside and gain the position with a very nice move on the inside in the first lap. In turn number 6, we have seen a move that is it works, and then Saker was able to pull away and had a very consistent, very fast race. The first lap we have seen that it was really crucial to have a good start. You can see also the reaction time. Let's see who got the best reaction times. I mean, it was quite even, but Faisal just managed to have less wheel spin compared to Lara Villers, and he got the lead of the race as early as he could with Sakira Mosherji behind. And from the drone we see the unfortunate 3 wide. You know, it's a circuit that has a lot of space, but when you go 3 wide, you never know if you can get out of the corner in one piece. This is the reality of motorsport, also because normally who's in the middle knows that you are 3 wide, but the other 2 sometimes they don't. So sometimes it's hard to give each other enough space when you are 3 wide, just because the guy further out or further in just is not aware of being in that specific situation. While for Oscar, trying to be in his shoes, I bet he was just there trying to make sure he was able to go through, and he couldn't quite do it. And the contact with him in Laura Vira just ruined Oscar's race and took out Laura for this race 3. As you can see, we have an amazing view. It's a really big and modern facility here. It's only 3-4 years old. We have many different configurations, opportunity. Some of the best corners in the world have been taken as a benchmark. So they tried and make a reproduction of existing very nice corners. For example, the one we see, the long right-hander from the top, is the same as Istanbul turn 8, but turning on the opposite direction, while we have turn 3 and 4 is a copy of the corkscrew Laguna Seca, but also there turning on the other side, while there is also the inner corner of on the left hand side of your screen that goes into the shorter version of the circuit. You cannot quite see it, but it's banked corner, so it looks like the carousel in Nürburgring. So it's also that configuration, an interesting one. We decided for the longest configuration that is also quite fast, and it's the most technical, so we have decided to go for that one and stick with it with both race weekends. And but definitely all the other configurations were also really interesting, really cool, and raceable in all condition, also with the Formula 4 cars. The elevation changes we have on this circuit, they are quite impressive. Here it goes downhill from the top of where you see the Onshi bridge down to this corner, which is the apex of turn 5. There is quite a lot of elevation change going down the hill, so this is definitely also changing the balance of the car. Here also we have 2 changes of elevation from 7, which is further down the screen, up to 12. You have a sequence of corner, which is a snake similar to what you find in Suzuka, but it's all flat out with a Formula 4 car. Also in this area you can see the elevation changes that this circuit offers. But believe me, when you are in the car, and I did quite a bit of mileage last week, it's much more evident than what we see on screen. It's really exciting. There are some corners that sitting very low in the car, they are kind of blind, so at the beginning it takes a long time to understand where are your references and where to turn, where to brake, and how you can take the advantage of the compressions and the cambers of each individual corner. So it's one of those circuits that it doesn't take just 2, 3, 5 laps to learn, but it takes a lot more time. We have seen drivers that still, after a couple of weekends, they are still trying slightly different technique in some of the corners, because it's one of those circuit that is also you also have to evolve your driving style depending on the grip, depending on the tire you have, depending on the position you are. If you have a car behind, so you don't want to be, for example, too wide in turn 6, because otherwise you can open the door and just stay a little tighter. And there are corners where if you are behind, actually you have to try and find some clean air in a corner while you want to be following closely in the straight line. So we are now ready for the podiums for top 3 finishers and top 3 rookies with Aaron Thompson.
Okay, thank you very much for being so patient with us, ladies and gentlemen. So without any further ado, let's get into the podium celebration for race 3 here at event 2 of the Formula 4 Arabia Championship. Without any further ado, I'd like to call, please, place of the overall category, Faisal Al-Kabani! And in second place, Malden! And in first place, atop the top step, we have Sag Al-Mashaji! And now for the first place trophy presentation, please. And now for the second place trophy presentation, please. And now the third place trophy presentation. And now for the rookie podium, please. And now for the rookie podium in third position, we have Andrei Petrovich! And in second position, we have Omar Drayan! And in first position, we have Sag Al-Mashaji! Now for the first place trophy presentation. And for the second place trophy presentation. And of course the third place trophy presentation. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. Celebration.
So that was the podium of today, race 3, and Now we still have one more race before the end of this weekend. So race 4 based on the fastest fourth lap of the qualifying. So it's going to be a very exciting race, the final race of the weekend. Let's wait for the next one to see who will be in the top of the standing of the championship after this Kuwait race event for Formula 4 Saudi Arabia Championship certified by FIA. Thank you very much.